You know it's this. Take a perk and a talk and it's it. Money swallowed like sis. Did it perfect in the kid. Got a billion who sang on my head. Look up better. Put on the road I just spent. I know we got $1 million. The devil that shit ain't not cheaper again.
Hello and welcome back, fellow anime lovers, to MangaMuse. I am delighted to have you join us once again in the world of fanfiction and fantasy. This is the second part of What If Deku Enters Kamen Rider. Special note, this fanfic is written in a masterpiece of Mickle97 on FANFICTIONnet. Do check and support the author too. Now smash the like, share and subscribe button for more. Also press the bell icon so that you never miss such great parts. Thanks for the introduction. Now let's dive into the world. Build Smash is having a time of his life. After the strange boy gave him a new power, he was using it to absorb many people and seal their quirks in strange spiky bottles. He was trying to find best match for himself so that he could become a genius hero. So far, he found nothing. Right now, he finds a plant-like girl and crystal-like boy. Monster inserts into their next bottles and they are quickly dissolved into the bottles. Plant. Crystal. Best match, the creature asked in a grunt. Before he could use it for himself, he was startled by two loud shouts. "Build Sento, is that you?" asked both Banjo and Rumi simultaneously. "He really let himself down," she commented looking at the monster's form. But another Build's attention was at the Banjo strangely like he finds something important. And then it finally hit him instantly. "Me Build, you cross Z, best match," the monster rider screamed while jumping at the dumbfounded Banjo. "Hey, let goof me, you freak," Ryuga screamed while punching the monster away. After letting go from him, humans shuddered in disgust much to Rumi's amusement. Why the hell did he do that? Wait a minute, Usajima stopped her laughing in realization. "That's Build copy, call you Cross Z. It means that you are Kamen Rider Cross Z, Build's an idiot of a sidekick." "Hey, who calls me an idiot? Don't mess with me." He fired back while taking out his driver, which is a large black device with a large circular gear and a red handle. Then near him appears a red and gold dragon, which he takes in his other hand. It is a Build driver and Cross Z dragon. "Now you will see my awesomeness." He inserts a little dragon bottle into the Cross Z dragon and then into the belt, which he puts it before. "Wake up, Cross Z dragon." Banjo then cranks the red handle, while tubes start to appear and circle around him, creating some kind of blue frame forms behind him and before him. "Henshin!" he screams while smacking his hands and takes a battle pose. Finally, the armor closes on him, creating a warrior. "Wake up burning, get Cross Z dragon, yeah." Ryuga is in a black bodysuit with dark blue metal clasped into him. Dark blue shoes, with white ankle clasps, dark blue shin guards and black diamond kneecap guards, dark blue metal clasps with the right leg having a golden flame motif, dark blue chest armor again with golden flames with his arms in the blue metal with his left arm having the golden flames. His shoulders covered in protruding guards that looked like dragon claws. Finally, his helmet had a white mouth plate, blue dragon head shaped eye visors and a golden dragon head moniker. His name is Dragon Hero, Kamen Rider Cross Z. "I am Kamen Rider Cross Z, Prince of the Protein," he boasted while posing. "You are the king of idiots," Rumi simply commented. "Don't mess with me, bunny girl," countered Banjo while looking at his aggressor, only to drop his jaw against his helmet. "When did you change your clothes?" Indeed, she wears completely different clothes. Her hero costume consists of a sleeveless white leotard with a dark purple trim around her shoulders and waist, a wide, yellow crescent moon design over her chest, and two thick metal plates on her midriff. She wears purple thigh-high boots to complement her leotard, with more plating around the heel and toe areas, making her feet look like those of a rabbit. She also has a pair of thick white gloves on her hands with long cuffs, sporting small triangular protrusions around their edges. "My name is Rabbit Hero, Mirko. I am 7 Hero," she boasted while showing her muscles. Banjo never was happy to have a helmet. "And don't you dare to call me Bunny Girl, weakling." "I am not weak," screamed Banjo. "You can't defeat your opponents alone. You always need support or other riders to fight. Those who can't fight for themselves are weak," Mirko countered back. "At least we don't need money or parades to make us fight," Cross Z fired in anger. "How about to prove your strength?" Those who defeat that ugly over here receive the free food from the loser. Rabbit Dragon best match? Asked another rider rhetorically. However, no one heard him. You got it, Dragon Boy. Prepare to lose. With these words, she literally jumps towards her opponent, leaving Kamen Rider behind. Hey, wait for me, bunny girl, Ryuka screamed while taking out a blue and black sword. It's beat closer. His personal weapon. I feel unbeatable at this moment. With double shout, they rush towards the enemy, with an objective to win. I just saw Kamen Rider's henshin by my own eyes. In real life, screamed Izuku in pure happiness. Despite the big crowd, the run to the place was a short one. When they got there, they saw some kind of monster build terrorizing people, dissolving them into strange little bottles. Then on the scene appear a biracial woman and man. They then transformed into dragon-themed Kamen Rider and heroine with a rabbit motif. Seeing a team-up of Cross Z and Mirko made Izuku very happy. It was a miracle that he didn't faint. You can transform yourself, commented Tsukayomi deadpanning, explaining an obvious fact. It's very different, said Izuku as a matter of fact. But now we don't have to worry about another build. He is fighting against one of the top 10 pro hero and Kamen Rider with the same driver as the original build. I wouldn't be so sure, Izuku-sama, added Waz. Another riders can only be defeated by the power of riders they were created from. They also can suppress their powers. But the more this another build exists, the more chances that build's power could extinguish. Kamen Rider build could disappear? Asked Midoriya in horror. Kamen Riders was his hope for his dream. They were true protectors of justice. And learning that there is a force which can destroy them so easily while creating these abominations, he can become scared and angered at the same time. Scared because he couldn't imagine the peaceful world without its defenders. And angered because someone was dared to use their powers for this monster, while mocking the originals by giving them their names. They must be stopped. How can we defeat it? Without the power of Kamen Rider build it's impossible, answered Tsukayomi, still in shock at seeing this another build. She didn't imagine that these creatures do exist. But that doesn't give us a reason for not acting, said Jeez while talking out his ride watch. Jeez. He slotted the ride watch into the belt, made a fist to hit the button on the top of the belt making it tilt. Jeez threw his arms forward like he was projecting a ball of energy, recalled them back, spun them around until his left hand clasped the upwards tilt of the Ziku driver and his right clasped the underside. While Jeez was posing, a large see-through, digital clock with red zazines appeared with smaller digital clocks reading the same time on the sides, mirroring Izuku's transformation sequence. Henshin! He spun the belt around and it locked in place. Rider time. The digital clocks spun around right side up. The clocks began to turn. Yellow hiragana letters appeared behind him. Kamen Rider Jeez. Red and black watch straps appeared and surrounded Jeez much the same way as Izuku, and covered him in red energy and formed a red bodysuit, red boots with black tips, silver anklets, deep red shin guards with black stripes on them, black watch crown kneecaps, a black watch strap going down his chest and stopped at his waist. His shoulders were protected by a hexagonal-shaped silver chest guard with yellow markings and red protrusions like watch buttons. He had black gloves with yellow padding. At last, his helmet, mainly black with a white faceplate except for his visor, where the yellow hiragana letters stuck itself into the mask, reading the word Rider. On his wrists were the same silver straps that Izuku had either to house more ride watches. Jeez became Kamen Rider Jeez. Not wanting to hear the words of his comrades, he ran towards another rider. Is that? Asked Ochako in wonder. She never saw his rider form before. Yeah, that's Kamen Rider Jeez, answered Tsukayomi with a nod. Resistance invented the driver similar to Omaio, so that we would have at least a fighting chance. But we create only one. Jeez was chosen to be its wielder. Now, Midoriya-san, you need to transform and go after him. However, Izuku was standing on the place with the same awestruck expression he had 5 minutes ago. I saw Henshin again, he shouted, whispered in awe. Unfortunately, the girls had lost their patience already, and then with dark auras they scared Izuku into submission and ordered him with threatening voices. Shut up and go to fight. Yes, ma'ams, Midoriya squeaked in fright while running away from 2 she-devils. However, he finally found a family resemblance between Tsukayomi and Kaken. "This guy is tough," commented Mirko in huff. "Can't disagree with you," added Cross Z, tired the same as Rabbit Hero. They were fighting 40 minutes and so far it didn't work well. Any attack could barely scratch their opponent. What made the matters worse is that this monster's attacks were unpredictable and chaotic. He could throw anything at them, starting with a destructive fireball and finishing with shrinking down. "What the hell is that quirk is? Jack of all trades?" she asked in sarcasm. "Our enemies don't have quirks. But he doesn't look like a science experiment," he commented, looking at the monster version of his best friend. While they were talking, Build Smash placed his bottles into the belt and crank handle. "Fireball, laser." "Arg," snarled Monster in anger, not happy with the fact that he didn't get best match. Then he created 5 little balls of fire and shot at his opponents. Fortunately, they dodge, but then another rider shoots a blue laser from his belt. The blast from the laser sends both of the heroes to crash in the nearby car. "Man, that's so hurt," moaned Ryuga in pain. "Hey, bunny girl, how about we destroy him together in one strike?" "I hate fighting with others," Rumi answered. Then she notices that Build Smash starts laughing and pointing his claw at them. He is mocking them. He goes down. "But right now, I will make an exception. What's the plan?" "There is no plan. Just run and use your final attack," he answered while cranking his handle. After finishing it, he crouches down and prepares for a punch. "No one can stop me now." "Ready, go, Dragonic finish." Cross Z coats his right hand in blue energy, forming the shape of a blue Chinese dragon head behind them. Before he could act, Mirko jumps and appears behind Copy Build, surprising both males. "Catch, Dragon Boy." "Luna Arc," she called while raising her leg and delivered a powerful front-facing axe kick to her opponent, sending him to the banjo. Acting quickly, Cross Z delivers a punch to the fake rider, sending him flying with a blue Chinese dragon after him before exploding. They won. They defeated it. "We did it," cheered Ryuga happily. "We kicked this faker's ass." "I know, right," agreed. Usajima gave him 5. Banjo returns. "I take every bad word I said about you. I actually like your style." "Thanks. I am a former pro boxer," he boasted with a smile. Finally, someone appreciates his abilities. "Your kicking is not so bad either. You could become a great Kamen rider." "Thanks, but I prefer hero work," she commented with a true smile. "But you still own me, carrots. I actually won." "Don't mess with me. My last attack destroyed him, not yours," fired back Cross Z in anger. "Don't make me arrest you for vigilantism," Mirko screamed. "I am an official hero, not vigilant," countered back Banjo, already wanted to punch her. While they were arguing around, they didn't notice as Takumi came from the wreckage, looking tired, exhausted and hungry for power. He wants more quirks for best match. "Hey kid, what are you doing here? There is danger out there," asked Banjo, dumbly noticing the teenager on the road. "Best match," he screamed while cranking his handle before he was once again covered himself in some kind of strange gas, slowly transforming back into Build Smash. Another time. "Build. This kid transformed into that monster? How is that possible?" asked Mirko in shock. She couldn't believe her eyes that some kid just became that monster. But Ryuga could only gap in the shock. It wasn't a shock for him to see as someone transforms into the monster. He defeats quite the share of them. But seeing that gas made him remember some bad memories, remind him of the nebula gas and tortures he experienced before. That was a nightmare for him before he escaped and met Sento. Before they could act, Build Smash uses his 2 last bottles and inserts them into his belt. Plant, crystal. With a shout, "No best match," he then thrusts at them a big green vine and binds them tight, before shooting many shards of crystals at them, knocking both of heroes out. That also made Cross Z to transform back. "What is that thing?" asked Banjo, grunting in pain from tight vines. He never fought an enemy that's tricky as that. It didn't help the fact that he somehow looked like a crude version of Build. At first glance, the situation is hopeless. 2 heroes unarmed and weakened and tied by this villain at his mercy. Before the fake rider could attack, he was struck by the swing of the strange-looking red and black axe, with the axe written in hiragana on the blade. Zicken's axe. Rumi and Ryuga look up and see G's with an axe and ready to fight. Kamen Rider? She asked in surprise at seeing Kamen Rider. Hey, are you that new Kamen Rider's sidekick? He asked, noticing a resemblance between him and Zio. His comment pretty much irritated Jeez. I am not a sidekick. My name is Kamen Rider Jeez, Jeez screamed while twirling Zickenzacks. And I fight for the sake of the future. Both heroes could gap in the shock at his bold declaration. Just who is that guy? They couldn't think about it further as the vine holding them let go. On the ground they see Zio with a Zicken Jarade looking very giddy like a fanboy. It sounded cool, Jeez-kun, he screamed in happiness. I should try something like these. How about this, Kamen Rider Zio? With this power bestowed upon me, I will forge a path to a better future. It's no time for talking, Jeez reprimanded loudly. We have a monster to defeat. Oh, right, Zio agreed. Do you have any ideas how to defeat a monster with a specific power we don't have? I don't, but we need to stop him, answered Jeez while taking his weapon away. He then pushes buttons on his ride watch and driver. Finish time. He then spins his belt while saying, to save the future, you must disappear. Time burst. Jeez projects a vision of another rider's defeat much to everyone's confusion, then a series of yellow-colored rider and kick in hiragana characters appear in a line towards the enemy before Jeez performs a flying kick through the characters, foot and visor lining up with them. The projected another rider acts in reverse as it and monster rider converge at the point where the kick hits. The build copy then following the projectile's path back to where it started to be destroyed exactly where Jeez predicted at the beginning of the attack. For a moment nobody moved. All of them were still in shock at the Jeez's finish attack. How do you like that? Jeez asked in a cocky attitude. Been then, done then, kid, commented Cross Z while pointing behind Jeez. They turn around and see another build who comes from the different alley, completely unharmed and okay. If you forgot about grunting and crawling walk. For a second everyone prepared for an attack from Build Smash. But he could do it. There were sounds of sirens. Police forces are coming. Seeing himself outnumbered, another build decides to run away. Suddenly its red left leg began to glow and steam, the broken, cracked and rusty white spring on it compressing, and then he was thrown in the air much to everyone's shock. The monster hissed as it jumped into the skies to escape. He ran away, commented Jeez in disdain. We must go after him. However, they were loudly interrupted by the shout of police. Freeze, Kamen Riders, bellowed police captain in the megaphone. With him were some heroes such as Death Arms, MT, Lady and Kamui Woods. You are arrested for vigilantism and for using your quirks without licenses. You also must explain the attack of that villain. We are arrested for vigilantism, Jeez repeated rhetorically in anger while taking out his axe. How about I show you my permission, right now? Before he could attack, Zio grabbed him from behind, restraining him. What are you doing, Jeez? Isuku asked in shock. We can't fight them, or then we would have bigger problems. We need to go. Before he could escape, Midoriya comes to Mirko and Cross Z and bows to them while saying, I am sorry for leaving you like that, but we need to destroy another build and soon. Also, big fan of both of you by the way. Any other way would ask you for an autograph. Goodbye. And with these words, he left the place with an angry Kamen Rider thrashing in his hands, leaving every person in shock. What did you do? Screamed Jeez finally away from the police and other pro-heroes. Why did you stop me? What did you do? Asked Isuku in anger. What were you thinking out there? Do you really think that you could take off all these heroes and police out there? They should stay out of danger. All their efforts would be non-existent. Only Kamen Riders can defeat another Riders, answered Mayacoin. Even if that is true, assault on heroes and police will claim us as criminals. Then people will be afraid of us and would never believe in us or other Kamen Riders. Midoriya explained further in panic at the thought of becoming public enemy of the world. He is right, Jeez-kun, called Uraraka running to them with Tsukayomi and Waz behind. You would be in great danger. You damn idiot, have you lost your mind? Screamed both the duo of Tsukayomi and Waz. Do you have any idea what you could do with your stunt? Asked Tsukayomi in outrage and disbelief. The last thing we need is for everyone to learn about us and ask many questions. In addition, by your actions you could jeopardize both yourself and Izuku-sama, continued Woz, looking displeased as her. Have you known the fact that in this time period there are orders and laws about not using your quirks in the public? If you do, then it would automatically make you a criminal, even if it was in self-defense. Are you serious? You can't use your quirk to defend yourself? Asked Jeez in shock. Yes, it's true, answered Ochako solemnly in sadness. If you do, then you mean that you broke the law and it will always follow you. What you need to do is to wait for a hero to save you. But what if the hero couldn't come in time? Tsukayomi asked in confusion. All their time in the future made them use any resources, skills, and means to survive. But this time, you need to wait for help. And be forever labeled as criminal only because you want to live and use your quirk yourself. Why wait for a hero if you can just save yourself? For them it sounds absurd. If they waited for a savior against Omaio, all of them would be already dead. Looks like this time is not as good as I expected, commented Jeez in deep thought. Then he remembered the main and current problem on the hand. But how can we find another build, let alone defeat him? To stop him, we need the power of Kamen Rider build. We must find him, reminded Woz. Does that mean we must go to you? Eh? Asked Ochako in confusion. Because I don't think they would let us in. Don't worry about it. I think I know where to find Kamen Rider build, said Isuku smiling. It's time for his fans' knowledge of Kamen Riders to shine. He then takes the bag from Woz's hands and starts digging in it. In my free time, I tried to find any information and facts about Heisei Kamen Riders. Riders for the Showa era were very difficult to find because of their existence before the quirks, and written down in my notebooks. Each volume for each rider. Unfortunately, some of them are only rumors and incorrect, but it's better than nothing. What am I trying to say is that in my Kamen Rider analysis for the future, Volume 18, Build is where I write down any notable and significant appearance of Kamen Rider build. And I found a place where he could be his base. I just need to find my book. Unfortunately, it was easier said than done. After 15 minutes of searching, Izuku couldn't find his notebook, much to his horror. While he was throwing away his essentials that were inside his bag, all of his friends started reading his other books that were interesting for them. And all of them were happy to see his work. I must say you are very good at collecting information, commented Tsukayomi while reading a volume about Kiva. Midoriya-sama, your abilities never seem to stop amaze me. Even at such a young age, praised Woz reading volumes about Kabuto. Even I admit that it's a good one, added Jeez reading about Ghost. But that's not surprising. After all, you conquer the world by learning and studying anything about your opponents. It's good to read, said Uraraka, happily reading about Fourze. However, all their praises were in vain as Izuku let out a terrifying wail. It's not here, my last volume about build is gone, and I didn't notice, I worked 6 months on it. He then curls himself into a ball with a big depressing rain cloud over his head. Tsukayomi, Ochako, and Woz tried to reassure him, while Jeez could stand here dumbfounded seeing that the young version of Omaio was submissive so easily. But the worst news is that they don't have any idea how to find Kamen Rider build. If only there was someone who knew about riders better than them, it would be awesome. Fortunately, or unfortunately, they have someone. Click. Quick sound of the camera made everyone look around only to find a man with a black suit and red button-up shirt with an old magenta camera. He was smiling arrogantly and cocky, and it remains Izuku of Kaken, but it was different from him because despite his arrogance, the man has some kind of kindness and wisdom. It is a nice shot, kid, he commented with a smirk. It looks like you lost something important to you. I understand you would feel the same if I lost some of mine just made photos. Who the hell are you, pink jerk? Asked Jeez rudely. They are busy and they don't have time for strangers. It's Magenta Jeez-kun, Izuku corrected, no longer in his depression state. Sir, are you a photographer? You are the first guy who saw my true color. I like you, the photographer commented with a light chuckle. But you are right. I am a photographer who tries to capture the beauty of any world he comes across. And so far, this world is the most unique I ever met. His speech made teenagers look at him weirdly. Whatever he said doesn't make any sense for them. Is this man insane? I am assured that I am a sane person, he continued, surprising kids with how he guessed their thoughts. Just who is that guy? It's just I met many different people on my journey. Has been to many places. Learned many things. At first glance I do really look like a crazy guy. Is that why you got here? To tell us your biography? Asked Woz in confusion. No, I am here to give you something, the magenta guy answered while taking some flyers from his pocket. It looks like kids you need to eat. I know a good cafe for you. It's got the best coffee in the town. And fair prices. Best for middle school kids. Now I will go. Hope to see you again. With these words he left the gang alone, making them see the man with wonder, confusion, admiration and awe. However, it didn't change the fact that this man's appearance and his actions are weird. What was this guy's deal? Asked Jeez in annoyance. Why he gave us that stupid flyer? I think you were rude back there, Jeez-kun, said Ochako with puffed cheeks. He was strange, but not in a bad way. She's so cute, Izuku thought while blushing. He then looked at the flyer. So far nothing interesting, just one normal cafe. He then finally saw the name of the cafe, and his eyes went wide. Because the title is Nascita. He finds it. Builds base. Guys, Photographer San is a genius, he exclaimed, making everyone look at him. Noticing the confusing looks at his companions, Midoriya explains further. I found Build's place. It is on the flyer. We must hurry. Come on. He goes forward with his friends closed behind him to find a base for a legendary Kamen rider. However, they didn't notice that Magenta Jerk didn't go far and he was hiding behind the pole making one more photo of the gang. Zio is right. I am a genius, Tsukasa commented while smiling. Deep inside he was sure that Kid would defeat his first monster. Izuku-kun, are you sure that this is the right place? Asked Ochako in wonder. The address of the flyer guides them into some shady alley into some kind of cafe Nascita. Standing at the front of the said cafe is nothing important and noticeable. It totally doesn't look like a base for a legendary Kamen rider. Yes, I am, he answered confidently. The address of this place is located in the same neighborhood I marked in my notebook. That must be the right place. It's not looking like a place for a living legend, commented Jeez in disdain. But it's not like we got any other options. Let's try this out. Wait guys, interrupted Woz on their walk. Do you hear it? I think it comes from the cafe. And it was true. There are indeed some noises inside the building. If you hear closely, you would guess that it was most likely female shouts. Before they could think further, the door was suddenly opened and the woman came from it. She is a tall woman in her late 20s with sky blue eyes, which tilt downwards in the center, framed by a set of rather long eyelashes which are covered by the pair of red glasses. She has abundant spiky dark purple hair which is made up of layers of varying lengths, the longest ones kept in a ponytail and reaching down below her waist. Her chin-length bangs are split into 3 sections, 2 swept to the sides and 1 over her face, going diagonally down to the left between her eyes. She also has a small mole under her left eye, as well as red painted nails. She wears a long yellow sweater which covers her entire body, hiding her voluptuous figure and pair of slippers. Her name is myheroacademia 18 plus only heroine, Midnight, teacher of modern hero art history at U.A. I hope you can take care of this problem soon, Sento, or else people will go for you instead. She finished loudly slamming the door shut. She then turns around and sees young teenagers looking at her oddly. To not let them deduce her secret identity, Nimuri quickly lies. They told me that they have a good coffee, and it was terrible. You should go probably to a different cafe. Kayama then quickly left them behind, sighing in relief that her lie worked. But kids didn't buy it at all, and enters the cafe anyway. The interior is nothing interesting. It has a nice Italian motif. What was interesting is the fact that they saw a show of 2 people who are busy arguing with each other. One of them is Kuryu Sento, the other is black-haired girl in her 20s with a pink shirt and skirt. She is Misora Isurugi, one of the Build's allies. The older gentleman, black-haired with an Italian small straw hat with a brown band wrapped around it, lightly tinted round framed glasses, wearing a beige flower-patterned button shirt with black bracers, holding up his blue jeans and some faux leather shoes. He was watching from behind the bar table, and was the owner of the cafe. His name is Soichi Izurugi, owner of the cafe Nascita. Sento, she screamed loudly making teens to cover their ears. Go out and fix your mess. Misora, he moaned. Her name was in exhaustion. For the last time, I didn't create a cloning machine, and it's not my clone that is terrorizing the city, right? Well, explain then to me. Why does it look like you? And where it comes from? I don't know where it comes from, and I don't know why he looks like Build, or why he uses full bottles, but I would never clone myself. Banjo maybe, but that different story. Sorry for interrupting your important talk, said Jeez sarcastically, making his group noticeable. But we have something important to tell. The cafe is closed today. Did you not see the sign? Asked Misora rudely. We are not about the food, said Tsukayomi. Kamen Rider Build gave away autographs a week ago, added Kuryu with a shrug. You miss it. Eh? Screamed Isuku in shock, startling everyone. Build gave away autographs and I missed that. How could I do it? I know. It didn't help the fact that only 7 people came here, commented Sento, looking kinda sad and disappointed. Yeah, it was a tragedy, commented Soichi in a light humor. It's supposed to be a good opportunity to get more customers. How could they not come? Once more screamed Midoriya. Kamen Rider Build is a big legend and great hero. How could people miss that? Finally someone who sees it, said Kuryu arrogantly. It's really interesting, but I am afraid you must leave, said Misora in annoyance. You already overwelcomed your stay. Wait, we need to tell you something important, said Ochako in panic. We know who this fake Build is, screamed Izuku in fright, shocking the trio. Before they could ask questions, the door was thrown out by the Banjo and Rumi, the latter in casual clothes, dropping her hero costume on the way. Both of them were out of breath, just like they were running all the way here. I won the race, Ryuga screamed in happiness. Like hell, I finished earlier than you. I will never lose at running or jumping, argued Usajima back. Whatever, he said huffing. Sento, there is a fake Build running around, and everyone blames you. This is the worst, the only thing Sento could say while pinching his nose at today's frustration. Owner, make 7 cups of your best, my treat. 10 minutes later. After the cup of coffee, everything about another Build was explained, that it was created by time jackers, that they take the appearances and power of riders they were created from, that it blocks original riders' powers, etc. However, the fact that G's, Tsukayomi and Waz are from the future, like the fact about the existence of Omaio, was not mentioned because of Mirko. It would be bad if a pro-hero learned about future apocalypse. However, the biggest surprise was for Izuku to learn that he just talked with Build, Cross Z and Mirko without his knowledge. His next reaction wasn't difficult to guess. It's incredible, he screamed in pure happiness. I see 2 legendary Kamen Riders and pro-hero with my own eyes. The narcissistic genius physicist, science teacher of the U.A., smartest person on the planet, 18th main official Heisei Kamen Rider, genius hero, Kamen Rider Build. The strong and powerful dragon warrior, former pro boxer, unofficial P.E., teacher of U.A., also a teacher at hand-to-hand combat at U.A., Build's muscled fool of sidekick, dragon hero, Kamen Rider Cross Z. 7th of top 10 pro heroes, female wrestler and master of kickboxing, rabbit hero, Mirko. All of them in the same place, and I met them. It's the best day of my life. It's a pity that I lost my notebook. I would ask for an autograph. Am I alone who is not happy that he just mentioned all our accomplishments so fast? Asked Rumi Sweatdrop at Izuku's speech. I am not, answered Sento with a large grin. Looks like he found a new Kamen Rider, who is also a large fanboy. See, I told you I am a famous hero and Kamen Rider. Banjo Ryuga. Build's muscle fool by sidekick, Banjo boasted with a smirk. Seeing her glare made him feel more pleased than before. Suddenly his small brain caught up to everything. Hey, don't mess with me, kid. It's Prince of Protein, who called me Sento's sidekick. And why am I Kinekubaka? Who gave me this name? Sento, Soichi and Misora quietly shut up while whistling innocently. Ryuga didn't notice it. Geez, Tsukayomi, Waz and Ochako still looked at Izuku in disbelief at his Hero Kamen Rider fanboy's speech. First of all, Banjo, it's a stupid name. Stupidest in existence, said Sento, getting up and opening a hidden door in the fridge. He then motions for them to follow him. All of them grudgingly follow, still disturbed by the fact that they have a hidden door in the fridge. When they entered the fridge door, they were surprised by the fact that under the cafe is a real-life laboratory. Looks like every scientist indeed has hidden labs. Now we need to stop this another build, he continued, remaining unchanged with the fact that he just showed unknown people his underground lab. Also, how about we rename him? If you saying that he is a creature with powers of both Kamen Rider and their villains, then I would more fitting name for him would be Build Smash. Do you like this name? You know I kinda prefer this more, Izuku commented with a light shrug. And Sento Senpai got a point. It sounds much better than another build and indeed make more sense. What do you say? His group silently agreed with Midoriya and made anonymous shrug and nod, taking a decision to rename another riders in the future. Glad there are finally people with great taste, Sento joked with a smirk before he got into his science mode. Now back to our problem. How can we stop Build Smash? The only way to defeat him is to use the power of the rider he was created from. But it will be problematic with your powers stolen, explained Woz. Another watches are placed into the person and take complete control of them. They are basically becoming a living shell, keeping the human inside a hostage. I know, but my powers have not disappeared, Sento continued while going to his table and picking up his build driver and 2 red and blue full bottles. I still have these, and I can henshin but not for too long. Poor kid, said Ryuga with a frown. Do you know who he is? He was wearing your school's uniform. Yes, I know him. He is one of Kaken's cronies. His name is Takumi, said Izuku, shocking all Build's crew. Seeing their astonish, he asks in confusion, Did I say something wrong? No, said 4 voices at the same time. Say, does this Takumi have some achievements in science or sports? Asked Misora in intrigue. No, he is not, answered Jeez. He is just crony of the ambitious bully. He has a quirk which extends his fingers. He doesn't have brains or bronze. He just follows his orders without a question. What? Yelled Kuryu in shock and outrage. They turned a weak, stupid, lazy, will-less crony, who only listens to mean guys and doesn't have his own mind into build. It's even worse than if they chose some idiot musclehead instead. It's even worse that he changes people into full bottles and uses their quirks, Banjo explained in fear of remembering someone who can do it either. Looks like he sees a replacement for his own quirk. First time ever in his life, Kanekubaka is right, Sento commented, ignoring the angry shout from his partner. Do you know a way to use my powers? Yes, it is, answered Woz, showing them a blank ride watch. It's called a ride watch. Using this device we can copy the power of any energy and keep it inside itself. And then we can destroy Build Smash. But how can we find him? Asked Ochako in confusion. He wants to take many quirks for himself. It means that he will go to many places, but it doesn't help us much. Well, I have one way to find this fake build commented Ryuga slyly while looking at the Misora with knowing eyes. She could only sigh and nod in agreement. Before she could quit, she looked at 3 other females into the room. She looks at Rumi and simply comments, "You are too big," making her glare and Ryuga to laugh. She then looks at Ochako and Tsukayomi and quietly nods and takes them with her, ignoring their protests and questions. Seeing that Izuku and Jeez are trying to ask what's going on, but their questions simply die on their ears as Banjo and Sento set up decorations and cameras for something. "Action!" commanded Soichi, acting like a director. Curtains opened and Misora happily and energetically came out wearing clothes, which can be described as pink, poppy, and kawaii. Behind her come Ochako and Tsukayomi wearing the same clothes with blushing, embarrassing faces that made them more cute. That getup made Izuku and Jeez blush from all that cuteness. "Hi everyone, it's Miai-tan," Misora greeted while making a heart sign. "Am Miai-tan?" Izuku and Rumi asked in shock after seeing a famous internet idol. "Miai-tan?" asked Jeez and Woz in confusion. Growing up in a dystopian future, they never heard about something like this. While others simply nodded, answering their questions. "Today I have my new friends with me," Misora said while gesturing at the stiff girls. "Acha-chan and Tsuki-chan, say hello," said girls could only wave their hands slowly. They are a little shy. "But all of us have a big P-woblem," Miai-tan asked with a cute pout. But Mei-tan needs your help to find a scary red and blue monster. It's been causing big problems for us. Can you find it please? She asked in her live stream. Oh, Kazumi-kun, thank you for donating. And then dozens, even hundreds of clear and detailed locations filtered through about Build Smash, with a few donations and pervert messages for good measure. Then they hear a big ping. It means that everything is over. She once more made a heart shape with her hands and fingers to add more cuteness. Oh, Mei-tan's time is up. Until next time, everyone, sayonara. Remember Mei-tan, Acha-chan and Suki-chan love you. Live stream stopped with all needed data about another writer is received. She then comes to the heroes and tells them in her dead, tired and monotone voice, "Here you go. I expect to receive a payment for that and soon." "But Kazumin sent you 30,000 yen, countered Banjo in anger. While they were arguing about money and payment, Izuku and Jeez were still in shock at seeing their friends in such cute outfits made their hormonal minds simply freeze. Good thing that they went to redress. But that image forever imprints it's their minds. They need to fight something. Or else they would become statues. Fortunately, Yuzajama can help with it. "Listen, why I wasn't in your chat?" asked Rumi in confusion. That question made everyone look at her. "What I am curious about is why 2 schoolgirls were chosen over mature pro-heroine. You are too big for my costumes. You would rip it off," Misora explained slowly. Tsukayomi and Ochako fit into them perfectly. However, it was tight in the hips for the former and tight in the chest for the later. But it still worked out. Her answer made all young teens, even Waz, blush red from embarrassment. It made everything even worse. "Okay, before we faint, how about we go to the Build Smash," advised Sento. Seeing the nods, he and Banjo pick up their strange-looking phone and insert full bottles into them. Build change. Then both phones started to change their shape and increase their sizes, slowly becoming 2 big bikes. That is Machine Builder, Build and Cross Z personal transports. Seeing their astonished stares, both riders mounts their steeds. "Hey, what are you waiting for? Call in your bikes," ordered Ryuga in annoyance, seeing that Izuku and Jeez didn't do anything, only standing and staring. "But the problem is that we don't have bikes," answered Mayacoin, making every member of Build's crew fall over anime style. "But you two are Kamen riders. How can you be a rider without a bike?" asked Banjo in disbelief. "We don't know where to get them. It's not supposed to be with us after our first transformation," explained Midoriya, making everyone see his point. "In addition, we are still too young to drive them. And we didn't have a problem with monsters before. This is the worst. Not only are they bikeless, but they also don't have any experience," commented Kuryu in disdain. "Okay, there is a temporary solution. I and Banjo will drive you both to the location of another rider. Tomorrow I will try to solve your problems. Right now, come on, sit with us." "Wait a minute, how exactly am I supposed to get to that faker?" asked Rumi, seeing that Izuku sits behind Sento and Jeez behind Banjo. "You told me that you like to solve your problems alone. Right now you can try it," mocked Banjo sarcastically. Seeing a pissed woman's look made him to smirk under his helmet. "Have no worries, Yuzajama-san," announced Waz, approaching her with Tsukayomi and Uraraka. Both girls are wearing their school uniforms. "My quirk in right place, in right time helps me to teleport to any location I want. I just need to know the place where they will be, and we will be there after them." With these words, both riders charged their bikes and drove towards the destination to stop another build. Build Smash finally restores his wounds after the fight. He finds more people and makes them his bottles, becoming stronger and smarter with each person. He no longer needs an arrogant explosion user any longer. He would lose his power anyway. A little more, and he will finally find his best match and become new #1 genius. Before the monster could continue to move, his arm was suddenly grabbed by the strange whip. "Stop right here," commanded the woman's voice. It is the same woman who left Nascita before, but her attire is different. Her outfit is very similar to one of a traditional dominatrix. She wears a black leather breastless leotard over a white bodysuit, which emphasizes her breasts, body and legs, the leotard possessing red gemstone-like accessories in a vertical pattern from the collar to the midriff. She also wears translucent black thigh-high stockings that are connected to her utility belt, and black knee boots. She has a small, red mask outlining her eyes, a handcuff on each wrist, and a red utility belt decorated with gold studs around her hips, a matching pentagonal buckle in its center. She is using a flogger-style whip, which wraps up around the creature's hand. It is myheroacademia, 18 plus, only heroine, midnight. For crimes you need to pay, she said, licking her lips trying to look menacingly. Unfortunately, it looked very seductive instead. It was her hidden ability to make people feel very uncomfortable. And it worked for the enemy either, because his eye lenses opened up and he ogled her with a drool from his maw. It's understandable. Despite taking full control of his host, another rider still kept mind of the teenager boy, and seeing a beautiful voluptuous woman in such a provocative way woke up his primal instincts. "Midnight, boobs best match," he roared while freeing himself from her whip and then running towards her. However, before he could grab her, he was attacked by a driving bike at full speed. "I can't believe that people thought that it was me. It looks nothing like me," commented Sento, taking off from Machine Builder with Isuku. He then helps Midnight to get up and addresses her. "I told you that's not my fault." "Okay, fine, it's not yours. But can you explain where it did come from?" she asked with a sigh. "Bad guys decided to take over the world by creating their own Kamen Rider-like monsters while blaming us at the same time," answered Banjo with a shrug, coming with G's behind them. "That's actually not a bad description of the situation," commented Kuryu for the first time, impressing his partner's mind. The next second scarf vortex appears near riders. From it comes Waz, Ochako, Tsukayomi and Mirko, who in her hero costume. "Nice quirk," commented Rumi with a smirk. "Thank you for your kind words," Waz said with a smirk. He then comes to Izuku and whispers quietly to him. "Izuku-sama, everybody ready? We need only your command." "Okay," Izuku said awkwardly. He never expected to be a leader of something. "Then we must transform now." With a shout of agreement, all four riders put on their respective drivers. Ziku driver. And then insert their own trinkets for transformations. Zio. G's. Wake up. Cross Z Dragon. Rabbit. Tank. Best match. "Now, shall we begin the experiment?" asked Sento while standing by while music was playing before he and Banjo started to crank their belt handles and initiated their transformation sequences. "Are you ready?" All four riders answered without a hesitation. Henshin. Wake up burning. Get cross Z Dragon. Yeah. Rider time. Kamen Rider G's. Rider time. Kamen Rider Zio. Hagain no moonsault. Rabbit Tank. Yeah. Izuku looked at his senpais in their Kamen Rider forms. He almost faints from its sight. Sento is clad in blue and red metal armor over a black bodysuit. His left is clad in the red metal with a strange white spring wrapped around his shin, while the right leg was clad in the blue armor, and his foot looked to be a tank's caterpillar track. His left arm and shoulder were protected by the blue metal with a double protrusion of a blue tank's muzzle and a red rabbit ear pointed outwards past his left shoulder. His right arm and shoulder were clad in the red metal, as opposed to his blue counterpart. Finally, his mask is a mix of red and blue metal. His visors are a red rabbit's head with the ears pointing diagonally left and a blue tank that pointed diagonally right. It was a real genius hero, Kamen Rider build. Genius hero, Kamen Rider build, Sento proclaimed himself while making his famous pose. He raises his left forefinger to his forehead, quickly pinches his two middle fingers, and then flicks his hand outwards. "Give up while you still can, fake me." "Not fake, real," Build Smash bellowed in outrage. "I'm Kamen Rider build." "That is not good," commented Cross Z, preparing his fists. "Agree. He is truly becoming nuts," agreed Mirko with a frown. "We need to save him," announced Izuku confidently. "Or else Takumi will die. Let's go." "You heard the kid," said Sento, and then all of them ran to the fight. However, before they could time freezes once more, leaving only Kamen Riders, Waz and girls intact. "What's happening?" asked Banjo in fear. "Time stopped," answered Waz looking grimly. "It's the ability of a time jacker. One of them is here." "Nice deduction, Waz," called Hura appearing before them. "My name is Hura. Pleased to meet you." "Isn't he too young to be a villain?" asked Uraraka in confusion. Hura decided to ignore the insult, but his nerve still pulses in anger. "You are time jacker," stated Isuku in sadness. He didn't imagine seeing someone so young could become so evil and do terrible things to others. He needs to know the problem to help him. "Why did you do it to Takumi?" "Isn't it obvious? To defeat Omaio, we need to create a new king to destroy him," answered Time Jacker like it was a simple question. Then his expression becomes cheerful. "I saved his life today, you know. He was supposed to die by getting hit by the car, and I saved him and gave him a new purpose. Isn't it amazing?" "No, it's not," Zio answered with clenching fists. His answer surprises everyone. "You didn't save him. You enslaved him. You made him something he is not. You made him hurt innocent, despite his flaws. Takumi don't deserve this torture. He is a free human being. He can choose his own way. Nobody can choose for him, and I will save him from that prison." His speech surprises everyone. It caused mixed reactions. For Sento and Banjo, they felt a great level of compassion from Isuku, like he experienced what he just, and that he understood what it feels like when someone decides for you. Being the pawns in the twisted game of Evolt, both riders understood what it feels like. They were pretty proud of their young rider Kuhai. For G's, Tsukayomi and Waz could only watch in disbelief. They couldn't imagine that the person who is destroying civilizations without a hesitation just talked about freedom and people's choices. They can't imagine Omaio to tell those things. Looks like izukumidoriya is more than meets the eye. But Ochako simply watches with a smile on her face and is completely in awe, seeing as Izuku protects the person inside another build made completely to destroy her doubts. Izukumidoriya would never become Demon King. He will be world's greatest hero and Kamen rider. She is sure of it. "We will see, Your Highness," said Hiro with a disgust at Midoriya's speech. He then looks at his another rider and commands him, "Kill them all." The creature simply nodded and inserted his 2 new bottles. Bullet, permeation. And then times goes on. Mirko jumps forward and tries to kick the monster, but he simply dives into the ground, disappearing completely. He then jumps behind them and shoots bullets from his fingers, hurting them. "New quirks? It's so annoying," quipped Sento while trying to remember where he saw ability like that. "How can we stop him?" asked G's in confusion. "By being earlier than him," answered Mirko with confidence. "Cover me, Dragon Boy." "I hope you know what you are doing, Bunny Girl," he called back. Then both of them ran at him and caught him off guard with their own sneak attack on his sneak attack. Then Cross Z uppercuts him into the air while Mirko jumps after him and kicks the monster to the ground. However, at the last second another rider uses his ability and dives into the ground, leaving no crater. Then the monster jumps behind Mirko and changes his bottles again. Laser. Being caught off guard, she prepares for a big explosion. But it never happened. She opens her eyes and sees that Cross Z takes a full blast of the laser. He then crashes to the wall. "Why have you done it, idiot?" she asked quietly, making him stand up. "You didn't owe me anything." "That's what friends do for each other," he simply answered, shocking her that he considers her his friend. "You think that friends are a burden, but they're not. In the past I thought that I needed only myself, but I was wrong. After gaining friends I wanted to be stronger so that I could protect them. And I never regret meeting them. Friends made us stronger." Rabbit Hero could only watch him in wonder. She didn't expect him to teach her about friendship. Maybe she indeed was wrong about it. Maybe having friends is not so bad. While Mirko and Cross Z were talking, other riders tried to fight another build, but without any success. He kept repeating the same process with others. Despite using the same tactics, he was winning. What made things worse is that build started to lose his power. His armor began to spark and disappear while hurting him. "Sento Senpai," called Zio in worry. He can't believe that his hero is disappearing. "See? I am the true Kamen Rider build," another rider boasted before shooting a blue laser at Izuku and Sento. Thankfully both of them dodge. Seeing a drastic situation, Waz decides to help. "Wagamau, you need to give Kuryu Sento a blank ride watch," he advised Midoriya. "It's time for you to start becoming a true heir of all riders." Izuku decides to weigh his options. If he gives a ride watch to Sento, then it would be a slightest chance that World will lose Kamen Rider build, and he will be one chance closer to become Omaio. But if he wouldn't do it, Then Takumi will stay as Build Smash forever and many people will get hurt. He can't let it happen. He made a choice. Sento senpai, he called while throwing a ride watch to his hero. Catching it in his rabbit red arm, Sento watched at the device and clicked the button on the top, bringing it to life. Build. The essence of his power was absorbed into the watch, transforming it into a red clock face and blue-bodied watch with a red button on top. The faceplate was tilted so Build's logo was at the top and the number 2017, which is its year, was at the bottom. Woz smiled at the decision of his future Demon King. Then Isuku did something unexpected. Sento senpai uses this watch. It can help you to become Build again. Huh? Everyone asked in shock. There can be only one Build, screamed another rider running to kill them. But Midoriya blocks him. Just like Woz said, Ridewatch can copy the power of riders, he said, struggling to hold the monster. It can be acting as a way to avoid suppression of your powers. Why don't you use it? It looks like you can do it, commented Sento curiosity. However, he was testing him. He wanted to see if the kid knows about true power. Because it's not my power, he answered, shocking everyone once again. He then finally pushes his opponent away. I won't use it. Its power belongs to a genius Kamen rider. I can't use power that doesn't belong to me. If I use it, then it will be a mockery to its original owner. Power of Kamen Rider Build belongs to him only. It belongs to you. His act stunned everyone, especially Woz. Such kindness and noble act from the most evil villain who ever existed. He can't be Omaio, thought Jiz, Tsukayomi and Ochako in astonish. You are an interesting kid, Izuku, Sento commented with a smile. He then throws Build Ridewatch to Zio, surprising him. Use it. Why are you giving me your powers? Izuku asked in confusion. They are yours. It was a test. I wanted to see how you would act gaining a new power. In bad cases, Banjo and others would kick your butt and bring my powers back. But you proved me wrong. Kuryu explained with a light shrug before continuing. You were ready to return power to their original user. It will make you a good guy in my book. Now use my power and bring love and peace in this world. Seeing that his senpai just gave him rights to use his powers, Izuku wasn't left with a choice but to use it. He turns the face dial to show Kamen Rider Build's full mask and presses the button, taking his first true step. Build. He then slid the ride watch into his belt and felt the big power emanate from it. If my senpai gave me permission to use his powers, then I must fight and save Takumi, he said while pressing a top button on the belt. Rider Henshin. With this shout, he spins the belt. Rider time. Kamen Rider Zio. Immediately following after that, Zio's visor disappeared. The letters Rider in katakana just ejected itself from there, leaving nothing. As it couldn't become stranger, near Izuku appeared a giant full bottle with colors of red and blue, startling him. Armor time. Circling around the top, middle and bottom in the outline of a strange object inside. Appearing before them is a hollow suit of armor. It had silver arms, gloves, shins, boots, and even the chest piece watch strap which goes past his belt. On his upper leg is a selection of red armor, and on his left leg is a selection of blue armor. His chest was protected by a diagonal facing red and blue section metal, which extended to his shoulders where two large full bottles rested. His right shoulder resting a red full bottle and his left shoulder rested a blue full bottle. By its right-hand side is a strange yellow drill with a silver grip, like it was a form of sword or a knuckle of some kind. Finally, his helmet's blank watch face is replaced with a blue and red diagonal sectioned replica of Build's original mask, while the two clock hands that extended from Zio's face are now tinted red and blue. Armor time? He repeated in confusion, before armor moved and gave off a pose similar to Sento's. Suddenly, the armor bursts out from full bottle and separates itself before attaching it to Izuku's body in the proper places. Best match, Build. And for the final piece of the armor, Izuku's visor katakana letters come back. However, instead of usual Rider now said Build. I am Build? He asked in shock, seeing himself in the armor that was part of Build's own power. His question was the same one everyone wanted to know. Before they could think about it further, Woz appears with his usual greeting. Iwi, he proclaimed with his book grabbing their attention. He is heir to all Kamen Riders. the king of time who travels beyond time and space to rule over the past and the future. His name is Kamen Rider Zio Build Armor. While Fourze was talking, Sento ran to Isuku with a grin. He then comes to him and whispers something to him. Reluctantly, Midoriya slowly nods from insecurities. In answer, Kuryu gives him a smile with thumbs up. "We have got the winning formula," both of Builds said while doing Sento's signature pose. Isuku, however, had some difficulties. Out of nervousness, he flicked his left hand twice. Fortunately, it wasn't so terrible. Just a little flick to be sure if he did it right. You have been witness to his first inheritance of Kamen Rider powers, and this power belonged to the greatest genius of all heroes of all time. Now watch as he takes his first steps towards his kinghood. Fourze finished closing his book and bowing to his audience. "Kamen Rider Zio Build Armor," Isuku proclaimed with confidence. He then grabs his drill-like weapon and points it at the opponent. "With this power bestowed upon me, I will forge a path to a better future. Kono mama aruki tsuzukuru. Konyamo mashugu. I am the real and only Build," another rider bellowed while diving in the ground once again. "Hitori no ashiado tadat. Hachanai dakido kimi dekwa." But this time Isuku was prepared. He uses his drill and strikes the ground, stopping his swimming in his tracks. Zio then grabs him and throws him away before swinging his weapon and hits him 5 times, finally giving that guy some serious damage. Dakoka de Mataru. Igao Teasuzuni. "There you will." "Takumi, please stop it," Zio pleaded in concern. He would use any chance to save a person without hurting them. "You are not supposed to do it. People will get hurt." "Shut up. You don't understand," another Build snarled. "If I give away my powers, then I will lose any chance for a good life. I no longer will be some weak crony with useless quirk. I will be genius #1 hero. Be the one, be the one." "All right." With these words, he let out his blue beam once more to destroy his enemy. But it didn't stop Isuku. He uses Ziken Jurade in his left hand and drill weapon in right to block the beam. "Ashita no Chikyu mo Nekasnaikara. Be the lights, be the lights." "All right." Zio then surprises everyone by moving forward through the beam. Seeing his opponent not getting hurt by his attack made Build Smash very scared. This attack can injure, even kill pro hero, but this Kamen Rider pushes through it like it's nothing. "Tsuyoku Neruyo. Ai wa Makenai. Nanaka wo Tasakitsuka Dakashaim." "What is that power?" he screamed in horror. "This power belongs to the greatest genius physicist, who uses his gift to protect this world," Zio answered, coming closer. "He is almost there. And I will no longer let you overuse his power and mock his name. This is the end. Kokoro nai Furuyo Taroku yo Tsudaware. Be the one, be the lights." Message. "Akaru yo Hibiku yo." With a final shout, he pushes his drill against the belt, smashing it. The strike also releases the hostages which he kept to use their quirks. The people still can't shake the fact that they are free. "Please run away to safety," said Isuku in worry. The civilians don't need to tell twice. They try to run away, panicking. "You ruined everything," the monster screamed in outrage. "You will pay." "I will save you, Takumi," said Isuku while pushing top buttons on both ride watches. "Finish time, Build. Maybe I can't bring back the past you take from others, but I can give them a future without you in it," he said while pushing one final button on his driver and spinning it. Vortex time break. Appearing behind Isuku are large white difficult formulas and equations that he ever remembered, and simple ones from middle school 5th grade, which pinned another Build to the floor. Then Zio leapt in the air and used his drill weapon like a lance, which struck through another rider while riding on the white energy chart. The strike caused an explosion, which destroyed the another watch inside the monster and freed the person from its parasitic control. Isuku lands on the ground, an explosion behind him. "I did it! I saved them!" he cheered in happiness. He then remembered about the last prisoner of another Build and ran to him. "Oh no, Takumi. Are you okay?" "I think. What happened? Did I really kill someone?" Crony grunted in confusion. "Zio-san, I am sorry." "It's okay, Takumi. Everything is over. People are alive and all right," Isuku explained, making the bully sigh in relief. He then sees a teenager's guilty face and tries to help him like a true Kamen Rider. Listen, Takumi, you mustn't be some crony only because you think that it will give you some recognition. Your quirk is not useless as you think. It has many uses. You need just to train it. Only you can decide who you want to be. Thank you, Zio-san, said Takumi happily. It was the first time someone praised him for something. It was nice. And now go to the Midnight San and explain everything that happened to you, Zio advised, giving him to the female heroine. Please take care of him. He is an innocent one. Don't worry, he will be okay, she assured him while licking her lips, making both boys blush. And then Kamen riders left her before the police force came through. After 15 minutes, all of them were back at the Nascita. When they got here, they were greeted by 3 new people. The first man had a brown messy hair, wearing a white shirt under a dark-colored jacket, black jeans and boots, and carrying a scrapbook with Miaitan on the front. He is Kazumi Sawatari, robot passion hero, Kamen Rider Grease. The second man had neck-long black hair and a neatly trimmed goatee, wearing a leather jacket with a purple shirt underneath, wearing blue jeans and a pair of black shoes. He is Gentoku Himuro, cracked hero, Kamen Rider Rouge. The woman had an auburn brown cut hairstyle, wearing a yellow shirt, a black jacket with the sleeves rolled up and white-tipped lapels, a black skirt with the same white trim and black-heeled shoes. She is Sawa Takagawa. Once again, Isuku decided to show off his inner rider fan. You are rider who works only in countries, robot passion hero, Kamen Rider Grease. I'll crush you with the fire burning in my heart, Kazumi said his battle phrase, wanting to humor a kid a little. You are a hero who protects the people from the government. You are their bodyguard, cracked hero, Kamen Rider Rouge. I am, Gentoku simply said before opening his jacket, showing the shirt with words I am in both English and hiragana. I started as my father's bodyguard, then it became bigger. Where is Nimiri-san? Asked Sawa while Isuku was gushing over other riders. She decided to stay and help the kid, answered Sento with a shrug. I don't know if I should feel jealous or pity him. Sento, jealousy does not suit you, Misora commented with a teasing smile. I am not jealous, he said nervously. No, 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 no. Hey, what Banjo is doing? Asked Owner, gesturing at him and Rumi. These two were arm wrestling over the table, while talking about something. And after breaking this punk's nose, I joined the box club, Banjo said, grunting, trying to win. Cool story. The same thing happened to me, except I joined a kickboxing club, Yuzujima said, also trying to win. Also thanks for the save back there. I don't think I could survive that blast. I own you. But don't think for a chance that I will lose for you. Not a chance, I will win, he screamed. This show made everyone sweat and drop at their competitive nature. Who she is? Asked Sawatari in confusion. Whatever she is, if she breaks the table I will give her such a big bill, commented Misora in anger. I know her, said Himuro with a smirk. Remember I told you about a female version of Muscle Monkey? Well, here she is. Rumi Yuzujima, one of the 10 top pro heroes. Don't like to team up. Don't take crap from anyone. This is really the worst. Now it's 2 of them, Sento moaned at the thought of having 2 Banjos. But inside he is happy that his best friend finally overcomes his grief over his dead girlfriend. Really a female version of Banjo, Sawa giggled. Now you Sento must hurry up or else you would be the only rider without a girl. I don't need a woman, he protested in denial. I can coexist without them. While they were arguing, people from the future were surprised to see that this show was a friendship in the past. They were having a spat, but not a serious one. They were even joking and laughing. They couldn't imagine the friendship to be so goofy. It was even pretty to see for them. Suddenly Kazumi decides to ask. Say Miai-tan, who was those girls in the last video? He asked. Both Ochako and Tsukayomi were blushing hard. While his friends were talking, Izuku decided to wait in the air. He is looking at Build Ride Watch. He still can't believe that Sento Senpai just gave him a device to use the power of a senior rider. In one case, it was a good present and great honor for him. But in another case, he still feels like he just stole it, like he didn't earn and deserved. He was afraid that he would become Omaio at that way. He can't let apocalypse happen. He was taken out of his thoughts by Sento. Hey, Junior, what are you doing here? It's a party in your honor. he asked in worry, seeing his kuhai in deep thought. Sento-senpai, can you take it away from me? Izuku asked in sadness. Why? It's yours. You earn it, Build exclaimed in wonder. I still have my own powers. I still can transform. I don't need it. But you do. Izuku's expressions become sadder. Kuryu understood the situation very clearly. He is in an emotional struggle. I think it's time for a long story. Explain yourself. Geez, Tsukayomi and Woz are from the apocalyptic future. Year 2068, Midoriya started with a sigh. In the future, one demon king rules the planet. Kamen Rider Omaio, that's supposed to be me. I will be the monster. And I think the less the power, the better for everyone. That's rough, buddy, older rider commented. He couldn't imagine what a kid feels right now. To be called the future demon king. His life is worse than his. But he needs to lift his spirit somehow. In the present, the kid is innocent. Listen, I may not know this Omaio, but I know you. And you are anything but a good guy. You think so? Izuku asked hopefully. I know so, Sento answered with a smile ruffling the hair of the junior. You were born quirkless. It's people who would dream for any power to become a part of the society. But you didn't. Today you grabbed the great power, and the first thing you do is to bring it back to its original owner. Heck, you're doing it right now. I know that you will become a great Kamen Rider in the future. Thank you for your kind words, Sento-senpai, Teen said with tears. It's not every day that you heard such kind words, from your idols no less. Then he remembered one important fact he needed to ask. Sento-senpai, I plan to join the UA. Does that mean that you would teach me? If it's true, can you help me with my powers? And can you help to contact other riders? And can you? Whoa. Kid easy, Kuryu interrupted his constant questions. Is this how his friends see him when he is inventing stuff? I am working at UA. I am working as a science teacher like you said before. Also, you should prepare yourself even for the fact that you saved me today. I am always tough on my students. I know some other Kamen Riders. I can help you to meet them. And I don't think I would help you with understanding your powers. You have time, I have science. That's different things. I understood, he simply said. But I know the rider who can help you, Sento suddenly said. He has abilities similar to yours. And this rider is very full of himself. But it's the best teacher you could ever find. Where can I find him? Izuku asked eagerly. It will be awesome. Mentor Kamen Rider. He can't wait. That's a problem. I don't know. He is impossible to track down. He always appears by himself and unexpectedly, Build explained with a frown. Seeing that his pupil's shoulders fell in sadness, he decides to bring his little surprise. Also, my full bottles are not made with living energies of animals. It's more difficult to understand. How do you? Zio started in shock. It was part of his notebook. How did he know? One of our customers brought this book to me months ago. He thought it was mine, Sento answered, showing Izuku his notebook. I changed some errors and added my own thoughts and answers. I must say you are really good at observation and data collecting. And before you ask, yes, I added all our autographs. Sento-senpai, thank you very much, Izuku said, hugging his senpai, startling him. I swear I will work very hard, but I will bring Kamen Rider respect and place in this world that they deserve. Take it easy, kid. Being a Kamen Rider is not very easy, scientists warned him. Sometimes you will do things that could be selfish or selfless to do what's right. Are you ready for it? Yes, he answered Izuku honestly before both of them started to talk about random things. What they didn't notice is the fact that they had been watched by G's, who from this day started to look at Izuku in a different light. 1 hour later. The party was over. Sento finds himself a new pupil and takes 2 blank ride watch away for studying. Misora gave Tsukayomi and Ochako money that Kazumi sent to her. She told them that they earned it. Rumi and Ryuga promise each other a spar in 2 days, much to the man's happiness. When Sento thought that today everything was over, he was suddenly visited by the same photographer that the gang met today. Yo, Sento, how is life treating you? He asked. Tsukasa, Sento greeted the man, shaking his hand in greeting. It was you who sent kids to me today. Why, so I could test him. And how he was for you? Answered Tsukasa's question with another question. Nice kid, great potential, kinda shy and have some problems with confidence. But I think that he will be a great Kamen writer. He reminds me of me at the start. This is bad. We don't need two of you. Very funny. How am I supposed to know that I will unite with the world from a different universe? You need to contact others. There is a storm coming that will change the history of Kamen Riders, and it will be much more terrible than your actions to unite our world with a world from another multiverse. Unknown location. And this is how Wagamau started his ascension to his kinghood, was said like a narrator. He not only earned himself a new power, but gained a new mentor and ally in the face of Kamen Rider build. But that's just a beginning. Soon he would meet with another legend. In the gate of the unknown school was standing one man. He is dressed in a suit while adjusting his hair, which was done up in a pompadour. He is Jintaro Kisaragi. Ochuwu Kiyata. White border appears on the screen. It is mostly white with only exceptions being a big clear arrow showing Jintaro. Other things have the color of space with a "to be continued" sign on it. We see Heisei Kamen Riders before they become simply giant rock statues. Zaro Kido Yum wa Nijnai Kara. Bokura no Omoi Kono Sora Nai Tobishite Destiny. Face of Isuku appears on the screen before becoming Zio in full height. Zio Ridewatch spins around near him. Herutaru Sora Mayagit Ikuka. Yum wa Mada Hajimad Mo Nai no Nai. Face of Frowning G's appears on the screen before transforming into a Kamen Rider in full height. G's Ridewatch spins around near him. Sumazuitaru Baijane. Kayashisa ga Tsukiramasu my way. Kono Saki Nani ga mat uru kanat. Faces of both Tsukayomi and Waz appear on the screen before changing to their full bodies, with her holding her blaster and him holding his book. Dare no Kawari wa Shinai Kendo. Fumidasu Ippo, Sono Michai Kippon. Tsukiramasu Boku Dake no Sekai wo. Katsuki with his scowl and Ochako with her smile appears in full height before the image changes into their hero costumes. Only lonely glory, only lonely glory. Hey, Kodoku demo only lonely days. Going, go wing, go win, going, go wing, go win. Break out, wake up. Michai naru sekai e go. 3, 2, 1 here we go. Then all students of 1A appear with two different versions. One of them in their U.A. uniform. The second one is their hero costumes. Zudo Kido Yum wa Nijnakara. On OK's 9 not go way. We see 1A students with Izuku's team watching into the horizon to see time jackers glaring at them. Murai e to Michite Yuku. Kurimku asu wo Kanadaru melody. Before the fight could happen, it reveals that everything was only in Waz's book when suddenly it closes. Bokura no omoi my soul, kono sora nai tobishite destiny. The reader is revealed to be Zio itself. My destiny. He then looks in the stars and remembers his past. New Amanogawa Junior High School. It looks like a normal school just like others. With normal students, a normal system, normal lessons, normal teachers and plans for the future. But it's not. In reality, this school is home to one of the greatest heroes of this world. This place where friendship hero, Kamen Rider Fourze, was born. It really started as a normal high school. However, in 2011 the school was infiltrated by the space constellation-themed monsters. They named themselves the Zodiarts. They needed to find 12 people for creations of horoscopes to make a way for the alien race presenters. To counter it, the future space scientist, Kengo Yudahoshi, using the blueprints of his father, creates a Fourze driver. He then found an unexpected user in the form of Jintaro Kisaragi, the man who promised that he would become friends with everybody in this school. Together with their common friend Yuki Jajima, they founded Kamen Rider Club, which mission was to defend their school from Zodiarts. After the victory and graduation of the most members, Jintaro decided to use his experience and become the new pro-hero. Then he received his true hero license. He came back to his old school to become its new teacher, much to the shock of those who knew him. After 2 years of working, he transformed his normal school into the new hero school. Because of him being the Kamen Rider, it gains such popularity and prestige that it becomes the third best hero school in Japan, after U.S.A. and Shiksu. However, to not forget its roots, Amanogawa created a junior high school for the other student, who still loves to come to it. Gentaro was a teacher at both junior high and high school, the homeroom teacher at the former and hero studies at the latter. For now, the school, despite its shady past, doesn't have any attacks and danger for a while. Everyone lives the same, nothing to worry about. Rarg. Clang. Spoke too soon. It reveals then on the playground was a battle of the monsters. One of them looks like a tall being wrapped completely with a brown hard skin and red veins, making him look like a larva-like monster. It is Sanejiman, and despite its scary look, he is a good guy. He is actually slowly becoming the new hero to Amanogawa Junior High School. His opponent is something scarier. His whole body has a dull gray color. His feet had a single red line going over the tops of his feet. His lower legs and shins have gill-like vents with an X and triangle shape on his right and left shins respectively. His upper legs and thighs had black patches with thick veiny red markings like lightning. Around his waist were gray elongated hexagons like a belt with a strange blue buckle, made of molded clay and black switches. His stomach and chest were in the same dull gray skin, but with the red veins turning into golden warped metal going to his shoulders. 2 pipes connected his chest piece to his stomach. Black arm and shoulder joints, gray arms with black gloves with gray veins clasping onto the blood-red veins. On his forearms were 2 more symbols, an O and a square. On his shoulders are printed the data 2011 on the left one and Fourze on the right one. Finally, his mask, with an almost bleached white gray-colored rocket, with a black skull-like face with snarled teeth and sunken red eyes for a visor, short black bat wings on the side of his head, with 2 rocket fins on the forehead like horns. This is another Fourze or Fourze Zodiarts. Give up now, you ugly faker, snarled Sanejiman in irritation. Stop resisting and I tell me, who the heck is you? But instead of answering, Fourze Zodiarts just pushed switches on his belt, creating some rusty crude-looking weapons on his shins. Launcher on. Gatling on. The said weapons started to shoot at the pupa mutant, making him to fall down. Then another Fourze jetpack started to work, and he flew away from his opponent. Hey, you come back here, Sanejiman called in anger. Seeing no other choices, he crouches and shouts out his phrase. Koriki Shorai, he called loudly. However, nothing changed. Koriki Shorai, Koriki Shorai, Koriki Shorai. Unfortunately, there were no results. He still stays the same. He didn't change. He still looks like a monster. Feeling full with his failures lately, he started to thrash around while screaming why all over again. Fortunately, someone did hear him. Kazuda-kun. Sanejiman turns around and sees a little group of 4 people, 2 girls and 2 boys. The first girl is a brown-haired pretty girl with short hair. Her name is Rumi Kamaki. Her nickname is Ruby. The first boy is a big and chubby boy with short black hair. His name is Data Kondu. His nickname is Kong. The second boy is a thin and tall nerdy boy with glasses and long shoulder-length hair. His name is Chikao Nezu. His nickname is Nezumi. The last girl is a cute girl with black long hair and a small pink tiara on her head. Her name is Miyoko Oki. She has a brown plush toy of a smiling satellite, Hayabusa-kun, on her waist. In addition, she is carrying a pile of men's clothes. All of them had the same age, and they are wearing the same uniform as Uraraka. They are Sanejiman's allies and closest friends. They are Space Kamen Rider Club. And they are investigating the problem of another Fourze. Unfortunately, without any success. Guys, Sanejiman called in the greeting. We saw the battle, Ruby commented with a frown. Did you learn at least his identity? Kong asked dumbly. And Inazuman is still locked? Miyoko asked in concern. Do I look like Inazuman to you? Sanejiman answered sharply, scaring his friends. Seeing their frightful expressions, he calms himself down. I am sorry for acting like that. Many things have happened lately. He then takes the clothes from Miyoko and goes to the bushes, with Kong and Nezumi with him. Then both boys stand next to each other and block the view of the mutant. Girls then turn around with blushing cheeks from embarrassment. These sucks, commented Nezumi in annoyance. We were trying an entire month to catch this fake Fourze without any results. He flies to run away before heroes can get here. Maybe we can ask Kisaragi-sensei for help? Asked Rubai in some thought. He and our senpais could have some weapons against that thing. We can't ask him for the help. answered a teenager who just came from bushes. He is black hair boy with a loose button-up shirt and loose tie. His name is Saburo Kasada. He is the unofficial leader of Space Kamen Rider Club. We can't. We just can't. Kasada-kun is right. It will be a big mistake to call Gen-chan, added Miyoko in sadness. Oh yeah, Kisaragi-sensei no longer can hen, commented Kong before he was shushed by others. In confusion, he looks at the Saburo and remembers something important. Sorry, Saburo. It's okay, Kong. I know that it was my fault. Me and my fears, Saburo said in sadness. If only he wasn't so stupid before. At these words, the atmosphere in the group changed. No one would forget the day when everything in their lives changed for better. We need to stop him by ourselves. But how? The entrance exam in the next month, asked Nezumi in shock. Soon we will leave this school and then hello high school. It means we must use our limited time effectively, Kasada said confidently. I will not let this monster run around and tarnish Kisaragi-sensei's name. With these words, they left the place to go to their classes. How Janatro Kisaragi could mix both being a hero of the school and being a student at the same time. However, what they didn't notice is that behind them was standing a strange person. The person is a young woman, probably 19-20 years old. She had brown hair that was slightly braided at the base, tied back and rested on her shoulders. She wears a faded light blue jacket and skirt, with silver holes on a light gray collar and lapel and kneecap high black boots. It's Aura. She is the second-time jacker. After her colleague Yura failed with his build smash, it meant that now is her time to shine, and she will create the new king for their dark future. In this world, 80% of the world's population is blessed with superhuman capabilities. The others are labeled quirkless. They are normal humans. However, there are in this world that doesn't possess such genetic mutations. These people are called Kamen Riders, true heroes in the shadows. And right now, the Heisei Kamen Riders have passed through this era. It's time to pass that power down to the future generation. Rejoice at the birth of the new king. Cue the opening sequence. Daigaba Beach. The Daigaba Municipal Beach Park is located on the coastline. Rampant pollution had turned what once was a beautiful public spot into a junkyard. It was leaving like these for years. Before something happened. In 2 years, 2 people were slowly getting rid of all of this garbage, making it again a clean place. Soon only a little bit of the junk is left to take care of, and then it can finally become an inhabited spot. Right now, Isuku is struggling to move out a big save while his coach tries to order him to move faster. Come on, Isuku, you are not even trying so hard, called a strong male masculine voice. The older man is in his 40s to 50s. He has graying black hair. He wears a black shirt under a white jacket, black fingerless gloves and jeans. His name is Cotero Minami. He is Izuku's trainer. They met 3 years ago. Cotero has a small repair shop. He could fix almost everything. One day a group of delinquents attacked his shop and were laughing and insulting Minami, calling him quirkless. Izuku couldn't help but to try to stop them, but he only received one more beating on himself. However, at the last moment Cotero came to his rescue and defeated the hooligans easily on his own. Then, seeing hidden potential in Izuku, the older man becomes his mentor in hand-to-hand combat and physical training. In addition, they recently started to sword fight training. But it was more likely for the kid to defend himself when he got himself into a new problem. This is how their friendship started. Meanwhile, Jiz and Tsukayomi were watching how Izuku trains, and so far, they were impressed, seeing him carrying the stuff that was twice his height and weight. Not many people could do something like this. It explains how he can fight another rider with little struggle. Break, called Cotero, seeing his pupil's exhaustion. Not the second later, Izuku falls to the ground huffing. I must admit you really did become stronger from the moment when we first met. Back there you couldn't lift the small microwave, but now you can lift the 100 kilos save. Thanks for the compliment, Minami-sensei, Izuku thanked him. He then looks at the safe he was carrying and asks him, do you think it is possible to fix? It's only a broken lock. Nothing serious. I can fix everything, Cotero said before grabbing the safe in one hand and taking it like it was weighing nothing, much to the shock of both time travelers. Are you sure that he is quirkless? Asked Jiz in shock. I don't think that it can be possible to pick it up so easily, especially at his age. I don't know, Izuku answered. He always told me that he was born quirkless and he is just too strong. Maybe he is Kamen Rider? Asked Tsukuyomi in confusion. I don't know about it, Midoriya commented. He is too old for this. He is much older than Kuga. Maybe he was one in the Showa era, but I don't have enough information about that era. How I love the sun, said Cotero, looking at the sunrise with a nostalgic smile on his face. I always feel stronger when I am near the sun. Also, I'm glad to finally meet your friends. You were talking so much about Izuku. It's best for you to have good and caring friends. I am truly happy for you. At his words, both time travelers spluttered in disbelief. They couldn't imagine that after knowing each other for almost 9 months, Izuku would consider them friends. And while Tsukuyomi was pretty pleased to hear it, Jeez had a mixed feeling about it. He never wanted to make friends, especially with a person who he needs to kill to save his future. Looks like Izuku forgot who he is. Now it's his time to remind him of something important. We are not friends, Jeez admitted loudly, shocking all of them. It's just all of us have the same objective and we need each other to complete it. That's all? I am not his friend. I see, sorry for misunderstanding, apologized Minami with a sigh of disappointment before leaving the kids alone. Tsukuyomi then looks at Jeez in disapproval. Jeez, what did you just say? Truth. I am always telling the truth, he answered in annoyance. Myacoin turns around and looks Izuku in the eyes. I want you to remember it. We are not friends. I came here only to kill you. The only reason that you are still alive is because I have got some principles and morals. I am kinda your bodyguard killer if something goes wrong. Got it? Yes, I got it, Jeez-kun, Izuku answered, shocking the teens that he just agreed so easily. It's okay, Tsukuyomi-san, I understand his feelings. If I was in his place, I would hate myself either. Once again, Jeez and Tsukuyomi were surprised by Izuku's willingness to be their reason for being in the past. Any other person will just scream at Jeez in anger or is begging on their knees to show him mercy. But Izuku didn't do any of that. He always admits that he will just let them kill him. He is ready to receive a death sentence from them. That made their job much more difficult than ever. Because each day they started to slowly like him as a friend. Soon they just couldn't kill him. However, their thoughts were interrupted by the Cotero, who decided to come back with bottles of water for them. Here, water. Drink it, kids, Minami offered them. Without hesitation, Izuku already gobbled down half the bottle. Then the old man decides to add the fact he already learned. Also, did you hear the last news? There was news about 2 monsters fighting at New Amanogawa Junior High. At this moment, Izuku comically spluttered the water at the Jeez and Tsukuyomi, deeply irritating and soaking them. Amanogawa? Are you sure that it was Amanogawa? Izuku asked in panic. Yes, I am sure, Cotero chuckled in amusement seeing how his pupil just coughed out the water he just drank. I got one friend working there. He told me that the monsters were fighting for the entire month. And I don't think that it's some kind of transformation or mutant quirks. The creatures are too hideous for it. Cotero, do you have pictures of these monsters? Tsukuyomi already dried from Izuku's water. Can I see your phone? Of course, Tsukuyomi-chan, he told her and gave the girl his old phone. However, it was only a small flip phone, much to her disappointment. It would be impossible to know how monsters looked because of the total old model. Seeing her expression, Minami tries to defend himself. What? I am an old man and I don't have time to look at new models. Why is Amanogawa so important? Jeez asked with confusion, drinking his bottle of water. Amanogawa High is the school where Kamen Rider Fourze started his way as a hero, Midoriya whispered to Myacoin. That sudden answer made Jeez to splutter his water at Izuku, drenching him completely. Okay, I deserve this. You think that one of the monsters is another rider's? Tsukuyomi asked in intrigue. But in answer she received the helpless shrug, meaning that Izuku is clueless about it. Still, we can't just let it go. We must check it. Right, agreed Midoriya before coming to his senses. Minami-sensei, we need to go. You can tell me nothing, Izuku. I already know what's wrong, Minami interrupted him, making teenagers gulp. Did he learn their secret identities already? It will really end badly. The entrance exams in the next month, and you need to get ready. UA will not only test your strength, but they also will test your mentally and physical skills. You need to study more. Thanks for the understanding, Manami-sensei, Izuku bowed in respect before running away with his friends. Unfortunately, they did miss the quiet show. After they went away, Cotero went to the giant old and rusty refrigerator that was completely broken and impossible to repair. He then, surprisingly, using only his one hand, places it on the top of the fridge and pushes on, making it slowly to reduce to a pile of scrap metal. The young riders. They are always hurrying for something without any thoughts, he commented in nostalgia, looking at the sun once again, because the former giant fridge no longer covers it, and takes from his jacket one old photo. In the photo are two young men, hugging each other's shoulders and smiling at the camera. Cotero even let out the tear in sadness. If only you could see him, Nobuhiko. He really reminds me of the best days. But I really hope that Izuku won't repeat my mistakes or my destiny. He one last time looks at the sun before leaving back to his pickup truck. New Amanogawa Junior High. Going to Amanogawa wasn't so difficult. The team just sat in their Time magazine and hid them in a nearby forest. In addition, they used a camouflage mode to make it invisible. But it was the least of their problems. The current one is how can they break into the school undetected. I still think that it's very bad to lie, Izuku commented in shame, looking at the fake Amanogawa uniform. Tsukayomi's plan was to use one of her future gadgets and use it to create the new clothes over the old one and enter from the front gate. That was a holo projector, the device that can create solid living holograms of anything and anyone. This is how Jiz and Tsukayomi get the uniforms of Izuku's school for free. Stop whining, complained Jiz, getting tired from Izuku. It was the only way. They would think that we are students and they let us in. And remember, we are not lying to them. We just don't tell them the full truth, agreed Tsukayomi, defending herself. In addition, we are helping them to defeat this monster. I know, but still, Midoriya added with guilt. Then he notices something important. Front gates, they're here. There it is, guys. The gates. Unfortunately, something always could go wrong. Before they could enter the school's grounds, they were suddenly stopped by the middle-aged man with black hair with little gray. He has bad looks and very bad taste in clothes. If his grandfather's suspenders with rainbow straps gave any identification. His name is Chuda Osagi, the teacher and former advisor of Kamen Rider Club. Who you are and what you are doing here? He asked rudely while punctuating his sentence with a snap of his suspenders. However, the hit from the suspenders somehow made him recoil from pain. We are students here, apologized Tsukayomi with a kind smile. Sorry for getting late. I was trying to wake both of them up all morning. Can we enter? At least I am not snoring as her, Jiz whispered to Izuku, who could only nod in agreement. Where are your passes? Chuda asked, not to trust them. Passes? Tsukayomi asked in confusion. She didn't know that they needed them. Yes, passes, Ashugi explained further. After Kamen Rider Fourze made our school well-known hero school, many people were trying to impersonate themselves as our students. That was the reason we gave each of our students an entrance pass. Now my question, where are they? Oh, sorry, sensei. It looks like we forgot them back home. She apologized one more time with a cute smile in hopes that he would let them go. However, it didn't work out at all. Now tell me your names, so that I can confirm that you are our students, Chuda said, taking his phone. At that moment, kids started to get worried. Older man noticed and made a smug smile at them. Or you can't because it's not your school. I already knew that you are imposters. Do you know how? I easily could remember the student with dyed green hair like your friend. Dyed hair is also forbidden in this school. But it's natural hair color, Izuku defended himself. Everyone was thinking that his hair is dyed. He tried to explain them that it's just HS natural color, but no one believed him. Listen, maybe we don't study here, but we have a very important reason to be here, rudely told him Jiz. Let me guess, you are a new Kamen Rider and you need guidance from Fourze-sama, Ashugi sarcastically answered, surprising the teens. You are not the first one who came here with this phrase. You are the 8th on this week. No, go away before I call the police, he threatened them with a snap of his suspenders. once again receiving recoil. Not wanting to anger him further, the group left him alone. Old fart, Tsukayomi simply commented in irritation that her plan failed. Do you have other ideas, boys? I am still thinking that we must use time machine. Myoko repeated his plan to break in. Then people would totally believe that we are Kamen riders. We can't for 2 reasons, Izuku repeated himself one more time. It's too noticeable. People would be scared to see us. They would think that we are trying to attack them. Second reason, we can't tell another rider that we are here. It will spook him, and he will escape from here. Okay, what do you suggest? Jeez asked in sarcasm. We need to get in unnoticed so no one can guess who we are, and making the another rider think that this ground is safe for him. Midoriya started to explain his plan. We could pretty much climb over the walls, but they were charged with electricity. In addition, we can't forget about alarms and cameras around here. For the same reason we can't appear from the skies from time machine. We can't transform here because of the big crowd that will gather here. Unfortunately, the only way for us to get in is to wait before Fourze Zodiarts appears here and through panic enter the school and get lost in the crowd. He finished with a sigh. It's not a perfect plan, but they don't have another one. If only there was someone who could help them. Fortunately, they have help. Click. Hello, kids, greeted the familiar voice of Tsukasa, wearing the blue uniform of an electrician or technician, his signature camera around his neck. Photographer-san, what are you doing here? Asked Isuku in confusion. Working, Tsukasa simply stated with a shrug. I have a family that I need to feed. For that I need to earn money. I thought that your job is a photographer, not an electrician, Midoriya commented in deep thought. Well, what can I say? I am a man of many talents, Kadoya boasted with a smug smirk. Also didn't know that this school is yours. Whatever. I need to tell your sensei that I restart the system, and it needs the hour for reboot. After the hour it will be okay. But now everything is turned off. Why not tell him yourself? Jeez asked in confusion. One of the senses irritated me so much with his ugly appearance. Especially his suspenders, Tsukasa explained with a little shudder. No one could argue with his logic. See you. With these words, he left the teenagers alone with such a big opportunity that they couldn't believe their luck. It sounded too good to be true. Please, told me that we don't think the same thing, Izuku pleaded in shock and disbelief. Nobody decided to answer him. Not wanting to waste time, our heroes started to climb the walls from behind the school. And it was a little difficult, because Midoriya climbed was never his strong suit. Sorry, I can't climb, guys, he called Jeez and Tsukayomi when they tried to take his hands and help him to climb up. Thanks for the help. Where is Woz when we need him? Tsukayomi asked in irritation. If he was here then they could easily teleport here. Then teens jumped down from the wall on the ground, looked around to see if someone noticed them. Fortunately, there was no one close here. That made them sigh in relief. Okay, we need to split up and ask around as many people as we can, and we need not to get caught by that sensei, Izuku suggested to them the new plan of action. Jeez, you search for the west side of the school. Tsukayomi, you go to the east. I am taking the north. If one of us finds Space Kamen Rider Club, then someone sends the exact location to us. If we found nothing, then we met out in the mess hall. Any questions? I can't believe I am saying it, but I am very impressed with you, suddenly commented Jeez, shocking both of his other friends. Let's go, Midoriya finished. After this command, the group split up to find the information about another Fourze and monster battle. It will be a hard search, but they will do it. However, they didn't notice that something did see them. It's revealed to be a very small robot that strangely looks like a hamburger. He had the bun-like wheels and tomato and lettuce hands with a chop head. All their talk was recorded on his memory. Then, like a good robot, he drove away to his owner. It was hopeless and useless after all. Despite the fact that this club is what makes this school famous, no one knows anything useful about the club itself. They only knew some members, but that's all. Nobody knows where it is exactly. Like Sento senpai would say, this is the worst, Izuku thought in despair. And for this I missed my school today. Good thing that I am the best student in the class, and I can miss some days or else I will have a big problem with my mother. However, he didn't notice as he crashed into someone, making both of them to stumble down. "I am sorry," he apologized, helping the other one to get up. "I was just thinking and wasn't looking where I was going. Are you okay?" The second person revealed to be Saburo Kazeda himself. "It's okay," Saburo said. "I received the blows far much harder than this one." "That's good to hear. My name is Izukumidoriya." Izuku introduced him to me. "I am Saburo Kazeda," Kazeda said, shaking the new kid's hand. "Have I seen you around here?" "No, I don't think so. I always like to avoid crowds," Midoriya lied nervously. He never was a good liar. If Saburo finds out that he is an intruder, he will get himself in big trouble. He needs to move the topic and fast. Fortunately, destiny was on his side as he noticed on Kazeda one thing, some kind of merchandise. Fourze keychain. A very rare to be precise. Being a big Kamen Rider fan, Midoriya without thinking shouts, "Is that the limited keychain of the Fourze cosmic states?" "Oh yeah, it is," Saburo answered in surprise. "No one could guess it so easily. You can't imagine how difficult it was for me to find it." "Of course, it's hard. There were only 100 in all Japan," Midoriya agreed with an enthusiastic nod. "Finally, someone who has the same interests as him. I was joining the lottery too. However, I won only the one with base states." "I didn't expect that you like our teacher so much," Kazeda commented in surprise. "Of course, I am," Izuku said happily. Fourze became the first Kamen Rider who transformed the normal school to the hero one. In addition, he is one of the first riders who were declared as a pro-hero. It was because of him people started to change their opinions about masked vigilantes. Saburo could only look at him, very impressed at this answer and his dedication to Heisei riders. It wasn't the same ones who only cared about Fourze only because of his fame, or those who hate riders and can't see true heroes. Looks like he found a new member for their club. "Izuku Midoriya, I think it's a start for a great friendship," he simply said, giving him a hand to shake it. Izuku in dumbfounded fashion shakes it. Tetsuya Hoshi always knew that this world is a dark place. He gets it by watching when neighboring kids were bullying his friends only because they had weak quirks, had quirks which gave them monster or animal-like looks, or was simply quirkless, just like him. His childhood friend was always targeted by them only because of his ugly monster quirk. Even his own parents were afraid of him. It wasn't his fault that he was born with that power. That was what Tetsuya was doing for years. He was simply watching his friends or acquaintances being assaulted by others, and he couldn't do anything. No one would believe him or them. Even in this legendary hero school, there are still bastards who continue to bully people. Even with assistance from Sanejiman or Fourze, still can't let it stop. These freaks always have a way out. The worst thing for him was the fact that he is powerless to stop it. At least he was before. A month ago, a kind young woman came to him and gave him the power to finally give these bullies a big payback, and he will do it till the bullying stops. Hearing a quiet shout, nearby Tetsuya turns around and sees an older student with a head of bull assaulting the younger one, who had 3 eyes. Seeing that it's his cue, Hoshi takes out a gift from kind woman and activates it. Fourze. The watch becomes a black vortex before it flies around his waist, becoming the same monstrous belt from before. 3, 2, 1. The sudden distortion countdown ended, which at the same announced start of the another rider's transformation. Another time. Fourze. With this announcement, he covers himself in the purple sphere and 2 black rings over and under him appeared before clashing with each other, and from it emerges Fourze Zodiarts while emitting the blue rocket smoke and with line effects on his body. Slowly raising his arms up, he goes to punish a new bully. New Amanogawa Mess Hall. "It's a pity that you two haven't found anything," admitted Izuku with a frown. It reveals that Izuku is not the only one who comes with nothing. Despite having an experience in data searching, Jiz and Tsukayomi came back empty-handed. It was so frustrating. The club that makes this school famous is nowhere to be found. Then they decided to meet up with Mess Hall like they promised to each other. But it wasn't so bad here. The food is far better and tastier than in Aldera. "It was totally a waste of time after all," Tsukayomi commented, taking a bite of her food. "And it was more delicious than anything she eats before. But you must admit that food here is much better than Aldera's dump. It's yummy and delicious. You have got a point here about food. But I think I found something useful after all, Jeez boasted with pride, making the other two occupants look at him in wonder. When I was walking around the campus, people gave me some letters with strange combinations of numbers. I think it's some kind of secret code that is needed for access to this club. Jeez then shows them many letters with secret codes. Tsukayomi watches them in intrigue. What do they mean? However, Isuku could only watch the duo in deadpan expressions. He may not know many things about secrecy, but he knows exactly what Jeez received. Jeez-kun, say, are the people who gave these letters to you were only girls? Isuku asked in dread, already expecting the answer. Yes, it was from girls, Myheroacademia answered, making Midoriya to make a facepalm. They were also acting very strange. They were blushing, giggling, and tried to show off their cleavage for some reason. They were flirting with you, Jeez-kun. They gave you their phone numbers, Midoriya moaned in exasperation. Seeing that his answer made questionable look at both of his companions, he explains further by showing them his own phone. When we say the numbers in the phone, we can contact any person who is far away from you. Why did they do that? He asked in confusion. Well, you are a handsome young teen, Isuku deduced with a shrug. Girls like guys with such looks. I would understand it if we were in future. For us, it was the matter of survival, Jeez commented, remembering his nightmarish life in the future. I mean, with the number of people reducing each year, it will be pretty important to keep our population intact. But why here and now when everything is okay? I don't know how to explain it to you. I have no experience in relationships, Midoriya commented in embarrassment. But in this time period, we don't date because we want to reproduce future generations. We date only because we like to be in each other's company. We married only because we love each other and want to be with each other forever. That's the short version of relationships. Why don't you have a relationship with someone? Asked Tsukayomi with a slight interest. You are smart, strong, caring. Any girl would like to have you as a boyfriend. Because I am quirkless reject with delusional dream, Isuku answered, perfectly quoting his aggressors. And I am plain looking compared to other boys. But I heard that you got a female fanbase in the school, she added in confusion. I do. But they only liked me because of my muscular body. Even still, some of them don't like my company after all, Midoriya explained in slight sadness. It was a hurtful topic for him. And I don't want to date a girl who sees in me only a strong guy or a Kamen rider. I want to have a relationship with a person who would see me as me. Not as Deku. Not as Zio. But as Izuku Midoriya. Well said, Jeez commented impressively. How about we stop talking about dating and we'll do something else, like searching another rider? Alpina suggested, wanting to change the topic. Is it because someone didn't find any admirers out there? Myheroacademia mocked in a joking manner. In answer to that statement, Tsukayomi opens her bag and from it falls out 50 love letters and 25 phone numbers. Boys didn't know how she received them in this school or in their school. She then shows them a big, smug and arrogant smile that totally belongs to her grandfather. She is as competitive as Kaken, Izuku thought in realization. But he decided to shut up to protect himself from her wrath. Hey, Midoriya, suddenly called a familiar voice of Saburo from behind the group. Hi, Kazeta-kun, Izuku greeted me with happiness. Come here, sit with us. Do you know him? Asked Tsukayomi in confusion. Yes, I met today. We actually have more in common. Both of us are Fourze fans, Midoriya answered eagerly. Our task for today was to find information about Fourze, not to find new friends, commented Jeez in disdain. I know it, Izuku answered sheepishly. But for me, it's really rare when a person wants to talk with me, especially if we like the same things. At that moment, both Saburo and his friend Miyoko sat at their table with happy smiles. Thanks for inviting us, Kazeta started before introducing his friend. That's my friend Miyoko Oki. You can call her Miyap. I am Kato Myheroacademia, Jeez told his official name. I am Alpina, but you can call me Tsukayomi. Tsukayomi introduced herself. Pleased to meet you, Miyap called with a smile. I am happy that Kazeta-kun finally got himself friends. I already have friends, Miyap, Saburo mumbled with a little pout. Whatever. Midoriya is the biggest Fourze fan I told you about. Just like both of us. Are you serious? Izuku asked in anticipation. Yes, I am, she answered, making the writer boy happier. Actually, this is a second one, who can rival my skills, but she is not right here. But I have a little question for you. Which state is your favorite? It's a difficult question, he mumbled out loud. I would choose between cosmic states and rocket states. It's not because they are his strongest forms, but because of what they represent. The cosmic states is showing his bonds between his friends and allies. He always tells me, our friendship will take over the universe. That means that his feelings of friendship are so far and strong that it can cover the entire space. But the rocket states is showing the freedom and dreams of the people. It means that everything is possible if you believe in yourself and your dreams. If I had a rocket type of quirk, I would fly to space and meet aliens to befriend them. And who doesn't love rockets? That's all? Why did you ask? Jeez and Tsukayomi once again were surprised by Izuku's knowledge of Heisei riders. But now they learnt that he knows not only their powers, but also the true meaning of their forms. Every day you learn something new about him, something that really distinguishes him from Omaio. The Amanogawa students didn't answer. Instead, they were smiling at each other. He proves his motives. They are honest. He is the one of them. Congratulations. You passed the test, Midoriya, Kazeta beamed happily. Seeing the confused expression on their faces, he continues, You see, there is something I didn't tell you about me. I am actually a member of Space Kamen Rider Club, and Miop is the current president of this club. Sorry for the confusing test, Oki apologized. It's just after our school became a hero one, many people just wanted to join only because they wanted to receive a connection with Gen-chan. We were sick of it. And then we decided to hide ourselves and invite only students who truly understood the true meaning of Fourze. And you are one of them, Midoriya, finished Saburo with a smile. You can also bring your 2 friends. If you trust them, then it's enough for us. The trio couldn't believe their luck. They searched for the Space Kamen Rider Club all day only to find nothing. But now they accidentally found 2 members and got invited only because of Izuku's honest fanatic knowledge of Kamen Riders. It sounded too easy to be true. Tell about crazy luck, commented Jeez, saying the thoughts of 3 of them. Listen, I know that it's too rude to demand something, but it's very important, Tsukayomi shouted, startling the duo. We need information about the battle of the 2 monsters, or else Kamen Rider Fourze will lose his powers forever. Before the Amanogawa students could wake up from this shock, they were interrupted from the screaming crowd who just came here in the mess hall. The only thing that could be recognizable from their speech is Monster Fourze. Our heroes then look in the window only to see another Fourze attacking a student with a bullhead. Then Izuku and others quietly exit the mess hall to stop the monster. Saburo and Miyoko left the hall using another exit. Another Fourze does his job well done. The second he appeared, the bully lost his bravado. His cronies along with the victim escaped, leaving the bullhead alone. And despite the Minotaur's student brute strength, it didn't help at all against another rider's arsenal. It was a losing battle for a student. Please, don't hurt me, Bullhead pleaded in mercy. I have money. You can take them all. Unfortunately, it wasn't another rider's objective. Instead of answering, he summons one more of his weapons. It was a big brown spiky ball with a chain attached to his right arm. Chain a rayon. Bullies, no hurt friends, Fake Rider snarled, swinging the weapon above his head. Bullhead screamed like a little girl in fright and horror. However, before the array could hit the bully, the big powerful yellow arrow made the monster fall. Using this opportunity, Bullhead students escape. Fourze Zodiarts turns around only to meet Kamen Rider Zio and Jeez. The latter had his weapon Zik and Zax in the bow mode. It wouldn't take a genius to guess who shot at another rider. Fourze Zodiarts, looks like you were right about this school, commented Jeez in deep thought. But I don't understand why real Fourze didn't try to attack this another rider himself. Fourze Sensei has many more important things than worrying about some faker, Sanajiman answered. His appearance startled 2 young riders. But Puta Monster didn't notice their reactions. He then looks at another rider with hatred and disgust. Now the show is over. Fake Fourze, I will not let you insult Kisaragi Sensei's name. And with a loud and angry shout he ran to another rider, who blocked every punch coming his way. Then Fourze creates an orange small hammer on his left hand and attacks Sanajiman, causing some damage to his opponent. Meanwhile, Time Riders could only watch and wonder as two monsters beat each other. Despite how crazy life is for Kamen Riders, it's strange even for them. Now here is the second one. G's commented in dry annoyance. Do you know him? I don't think so. He doesn't look like a common pro, Zio answered in deep thought. I don't think he is another rider. He doesn't have any data or names on his body. But I don't think that he is an enemy. How can you be so sure? Asked Mayacoin in confusion. I mean, look at him. He basically screams, I am your enemy. I don't know, but I don't think that he is evil. Midoriya continued his thoughts. Despite the appearance, he doesn't act like a mindless beast. I think he has mind and soul. Whatever, G's commented with a shrug. If you are so sure about this guy, then you take him and I will take another rider. I think that both of you will be great friends. Both of you are monsters. Not waiting for a reaction from Isuku, G's interrupts the fight between both kaijas. He then takes another Fourze with him while leaving Sanajiman with Isuku, much to the shock and anger of the Puta mutant. Hey, Hiragana face, come back with my opponent right now. Sanajiman screamed in disbelief before his attention was on the remaining Kamen Rider. You are new Kamen Rider Z. Is that your name? My name is Zio, Midoriya answered sheepishly. I don't care, your sidekick stole my target, Sanajiman impatiently. Listen, I am sorry about my partner, not sidekick, Zio stated carefully while mentioning important facts about his and G's partnership. Even though he was tired, people think that Mayacoin is his sidekick. But they are even. But it's very important. I need to talk with Fourze Senpai about that monster before it's too late. Listen to me. Even if you are Kamen Rider, it doesn't automatically give you respect from everyone, Sanajiman explained his point. There is only one person I acknowledge and respect as Kamen Rider. And his name is Fourze, and I will not let you meet him just like that. You need to earn that honor, so come and get me if you dare. Seeing that the negotiation is not working with this guy, Zio summons his Zikinjurade and stands in his pre-battle pose. If you want to fight so bad, then bring it on, he screamed, accepting the challenge. With a battle cry, both young warriors run to each other. Both sides wanted to defeat the other. With G's. After leaving Isuku with an unknown monster, G's continues his assault on another rider. Are you done, Fourze? He asked rhetorically before swinging his Zikinzax at his opponent. Shield on. Claw on. However, at the last moment, another rider creates an ugly shield, which looks like a shuttle on his left arm and violet claw on his right arm. Kamen Rider, I will not stop, he snarled before pushing G's with his claw arm. So how do you want to play? To attack some kids out of boredom? Just like that? Kamen Rider asked sarcastically. His words made another Fourze angrier than before. Just like that? You have no idea why I am doing this. Kamen Rider, he screeched in fury before brutally attacking G's. Chainsaw on. I fight only against those who always likes to torment others only because they are quirkles or just look different than us, continued Fourze while attacking G's with his blue rusty chainsaw-like leg. That's your reason to fight? G's asked in realization. He becomes another rider only to protect people who can't protect themselves. It sounds very admirable. Unfortunately, there is a difference between protector and attacker. He is protecting students, but he also fights against bullies ruthless and no mercy. It's not justified his actions. He needs to go down for his own sake. If Fourze and teachers wouldn't change it, then I would. Another Fourze continued with a loud shout. Elekon. Then on his right hand appeared a little electric orb before he thrust it towards G's, sparking him so much that a cartoon skeleton appeared under the form of him for a few seconds. I made a wrong choice to divide the monsters, G's thought in pain. Let's hope that Zio have better chances than me. So alright folks, that's all for today. Stay tuned for part 3. Do subscribe, like and share for more such videos. Also check out the story and author Mickle97 on FANFICTIONnet. Press the bell icon to be notified first on release. See you in the next video. Till then, goodbye.